Hey everyone, SJ Mapler here to give you a speed drawing of Ilo and Milo, or Ilo and Milo, or ilomilo and ilomilo. It's probably the best name for a game ever, considering you can pronounce it so many different ways. You know, it's just fun to say. Try it out. I'll give you a moment. Alright. Now anyways, these two plush protagonists from their own game, are best friends, and they just want to meet up and sip some apple tea together. But every time they try to meet up and sip apple tea, they keep ending up in these strange worlds, these unknown rifts of reality that put them on either end of this strange blocky concoction. And the only way they can successfully have apple tea is by meeting up with each other by moving various blocks around and experimenting with the world. And it's an Xbox Live Arcade exclusive, sadly, because I'm a PS3 owner. But it's a really cool and interesting game, and it's an indie game. Well, maybe it's not an indie game, I have no idea. But it is downloadable, so you can check it out if you have an Xbox. But that's literally the story of the game. Simple, accessible, and awesome. I had quite a few difficulties with drawing these little fellas, because, well, there's so much space, and getting the proportions right is pretty hard when there's a lot of space, trying to reference your way around it when drawing. Like, whenever I draw, I look at the picture for, like, simple reference points in order to, like, piece the puzzle of the drawing together. But since these guys are so spacey, you gotta get the space just right. It's gotta be a perfectionist. So, yeah. They were actually pretty difficult. Both of them took me about 40 minutes to complete, and I think I'll refine Milo later, because I want to add some extra detail to him, and I'll show you that too if I do it. But right here we got pretty sweet, simple design, and yet it's very difficult to draw. Surprisingly, the most difficult thing about drawing them is well, seemingly most difficult thing about drawing them is actually quite simple, and that's the hair on their heads, the single standalone hair. I believe that's hair. It's actually cuter if it's an antenna, but whatever. Works either way, because these guys are awesome. And, yeah, but it's weird where these guys get these ideas to make games like this. Like, where do you get apple tea from, right? Like, this could have literally been a doodle in some guy's sketchbook, and he's like, hey, I can make a game with this. And, he sure figured out how, right? So anyways, in the actual game itself, when each level is just a floating planet made of blocks, basically, and there's blocks that obstruct your path, and blocks that are, like, moving, and blocks that are dangerous, preventing you from meeting up with your friend. So, well, you switch between the two friends, because this is a game where you switch between the two characters. You try to move the blocks around, and you try to get to the other friend. But it's not that simple, because you can go up, like, since these are planets, you can go above the planet, below the planet, side by side. You can move blocks, pick up blocks, throw blocks. It's a bunch of craziness. I hope to try it out someday. But, yeah. And the reason I'm bringing this game up in particular, is because it's a gem to be missed, right? And there's a lot of these recently, especially on Xbox Live Arcade, these great downloadable games, which are like super cheap, like $10, $15 for full-length adventures, or even not, if not full-length, they're still great and worth the money. And they're better than some console games today, to be honest. But like, I'm not saying it's like, oh, it's better than Mario's and the Call of Duties and the Halols and the Hizza was it? No, no, no. But there's a lot of great titles to be missed. So in the future, I hope to speed draw a bunch of new downloadable game characters which deserve their fair share of shine. Now, wrapping up here, and I keep erasing several times. I'm just not satisfied with these curves on Little Miss Elo or Ilo. I'm assuming it's a girl, just because they're red. Might be a guy. You don't know. They could be genderless. They could be aliens. They're probably not human by the looks of it, but yeah. Yeah, but I'm just finishing Elo or Ilo up. I believe that's. I'm just going by their. I'm assuming the blue one's Milo. I actually don't know, but yeah, and it's pretty darn hard. And as I was drawing these guys, I just completely noticed they're the same character, just reskinned. And you're like, how could you not see that? It's so obvious. I mean, like, I knew they were the same character, but I thought little differences would be tweaked to make them so different. But, actually no. Besides Milo's hair and his design, they're the exact same character, so you're playing two of the same character at once. It's like character within a character. Yes. It's crazy. And I'm just giving you a little sideways shot of Ilo now. So, done with incoherent ramblings. As you can see on my desk, there is a red robot dinosaur. Yes. And I remember getting that from McDonald's when I was a kid. And it was awesome, because that's a Power Rangers red robot dinosaur. I'm just pointing that out there, because I'm trying to think of something to say. Now, drawing the second character was significantly easier than the first one. Because, well, they're the exact same character. I just had to pretty much copy the first one, but I put a few tweaks here and there to make them different, you know, because I really don't want them looking the exact same like they do in the screenshot. So I decided to not include the patches and just put the designs, the nicer designs of Milo. Because Ilo's designs weren't as awesome. So yeah. And so now they look significantly different. It's pretty darn awesome. It's a good day to have summer. You're probably hit by a heat wave right now, as am I, and it is super sunny. Oh my gosh. It's crazy. Like, I've gone outside and just burned, and then I'm like, okay, gotta go back in. Stay inside my room. Shut the curtains. Leave me alone, sunlight. But yeah. So I'm just gonna bring up a few other downloadable games, which hopefully I'll be speed drawing in the future. So, that I'd like to recommend to you, and because there's some really great stuff out there, and you might not be aware of it. First game I like to bring up for you is Castle Crashers, and this is made by the Behemoth, with the same guys from Alien Hominid. If you know what that is, I doubt you do. But Castle Crashers is a 4-player game on PSN and XLBA. No, XBLA, XBLA, and it has online and offline co-op, like bajillions of unlockable characters and weapons, and pretty funny story, and it's just great. You know, you can play with your friends anytime. You can play alone, go solo, Rambo. It's just a great adventure, and it's the storyline very straightforward. Trying to save 4 princesses, and there's 4 main protagonists, but there's like 20 million playable characters, and they are Red Knight, Blue Knight, Orange Knight, and Green Knight, and each with their own special element. So it's pretty awesome, pretty awesome. Another game I'd like to bring up, and this is I've been especially addicted to this. I hope to buy it when it comes on PC, and that is Bastion, and it's in the Summer of Arcade for XLBA only, and but it's coming to PC. So check that out. I'm not gonna explain it to you because there's been a lot of hype for it, and just look it up. It's really awesome. Another game I like to recommend: Limbo. No, not Limbo. Everyone knows about Limbo. If you don't know about Limbo, you could check it out. By the way, it's really depressing. So if you're happy right now, don't look up Limbo. It's quite sad. But there's all these games that just don't get a light shone on them, and they really deserve it. And, I suggest you look around the downloadable game section more often, because there are great gems out there that could be really missed, and they're much cheaper too than a full price title. So, you know, DLC and all that these days, it's pretty great stuff. I also like to recommend Fat Princes, which is exclusively for PSN, and it's just fun. It's quite old. And I also I wouldn't say, like, I don't know much about these guys, but like, just check out whatever's in the summer of arcade, because on XBLA, because it's just great. It's just great stuff. Loves how the games, like these games in particular, really know how to pull. Excuse me, that's the phone locator. But these games in general really know how to pull you into their atmosphere, because, you know, they don't got much else on their low budget. They can't rely on gameplay and cinematics. They just have to rely on awesome, and that's what I find great about these games. I hope you've enjoyed this little sketch up, and I guess I'll see you guys next time. Peace out, and have a nice day.